We are so honored that we get to celebrate you tonight.
We just are so proud of these students and their accomplishments, and also the teachers that have been chosen. We just love each one of these students and teachers. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. Our first student is Ariel Usher. His plans after high school include attending the University of Texas at Arlington and majoring in political science, and during that time he wants to become an Army officer. And his star teacher, Mrs. Atkins. Miss Atkins has been such an important part of my life. She has molded me into a great student with strong values and holds a special place in my heart. Everything that I am today as a student and person is because of her. Ms. Atkins writes, Ariel has always been an outstanding student. From the moment I met the Asher family, I knew that I was going to be a blessed teacher. I always called him my go-to kid. I know that whatever he sets his mind to do, he will succeed. I am so very proud of him. Our next star student is Crystal Castillo. Her plans after high school are to attend the University of Texas at Austin and major in economics while continuing her nail and jewelry business, and her star teacher, Claudia Moreno. She says, Ms. Moreno is a teacher that I'll never forget due to her ability to create an environment that matches her personality and energy. Within this safe space, there's timeless conversations and good days that I plan to hold within my most memorable high school days. Ms. Moreno says, Crystal was my ray of sunshine in my classroom at both ROMS and ROHS. Crystal, thank you for allowing me to be part of your story. I'm amazed at your achievements, and there is no doubt that you will continue to make me and your family proud in your next chapter. Our next star student is Brianna Davis. Her plans after high school are to attend the University of North Texas and major in biology, and her star teacher, Mr. Aye. As a freshman coming into Red Oak High School, I did not know anyone since I was coming from a completely different school district. I was nervous and didn't know what to expect. Along this journey, I was able to meet Mr. Aye. Each year, he was very intentional in making sure that the French lessons would be fun and engaging for all of us. Mr. Aye says, I was told before even meeting Brianna that I was getting a transfer student from France, so I was thrilled to meet her. Always willing to help and an inspiration for her peers, an infectious smile and sweet demeanor, Brianna is not only a great student but a wonderful person. Our next star student is Ellie Davis. She plans after high school she will be attending Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, California, majoring in animation, and her star teacher, Kendall Newton. She writes about Coach Newton. I had the honor of playing for Coach Newton while in middle school. Though we only had those 2 short years together, she made a bigger impact on my life than any other teacher has. But off the court, she was my rock. Coach Newton understands me in and out. Coach Newton says, I had the honor of coaching Ellie in volleyball when she was in 8th grade, and I was honestly intimidated by her. You do not find many athletes that not only want to be known for their athletic accomplishments, but their academics as well. Our next star student is Saudi El-Saadi. This is Saadi's father, Mohammed El-Saadi. He will be attending Harvard University, and he will seek a concentration in the biological science field. He says about his star teacher, I have known Mr. Caudill since the summer before my freshman year as the Hawk Scholar Advisor. Since then, I would always go see him, talk to him about life experiences and the importance of being successful. He taught me to never give up on something and continue to work hard no matter the consequences. Mr. Caudill says, I remember meeting Saudi when he was an incoming freshman. He impressed me by his level of maturity and his determination to do well academically. I know he will be very successful at Harvard and beyond.
Our next star student is Megan Fellows. After high school, she plans to attend the Air Force Academy and major in behavioral sciences. Megan's star teacher is Madeline Hooper. Megan says, I chose Miss Hooper because she was the first teacher who pushed me to challenge myself and grow as a person. I will always be grateful for Miss Hooper. I don't think I would be where I am today if she had not been my teacher. Miss Hooper says about Megan, we bonded that first week when we realized we had the same birthday. I could count on her to be the leader, both inside and outside the classroom. To this day, I still admire her ambition and leadership she continues to show both in the classroom and on the soccer team. This next star student is Tatum Hall. After high school, she plans to attend the University of Oklahoma and major in sports business. And the star teacher is Jonathan Rogers. What Tatum says about Coach Rogers. I can go on and on about him, making references to movies no one has ever seen or how he's basically the softball team's personal therapist. I'm going to remember all the funny conversations we had during fifth period and how he truly cares for each and every one of us. Coach Rogers says about Tatum, you're an amazing young lady. You have embraced and exemplified character, integrity, and leadership. You have left big shoes to fill. Our next star student is William Hudson, also known as Blake. After high school, he plans to attend the University of Texas at Arlington and major in electrical engineering. And his star teacher, Mr. Justin Stapleton. Blake says about Mr. Stapleton, he's very passionate about what he does for a living, which inspired me to work harder in order to achieve my dreams. All this can be credited to Mr. Stapleton. Mr. Stapleton says about Blake, Blake is the most tenacious learner I have ever met. I have had the pleasure to teach many students, but there has never been a person who is more willing to learn and understand than Blake. Blake is a great inspiration to me. It is an absolute honor working with such a stand-up person. Our next star student is Jaden Lampier. Her plans after high school is to attend the University of Texas at Arlington. Her star teacher is Heidi Johanna. Mrs. Johanna has been a big part of who I am today. She is such a great teacher that made learning fun for me and taught me what it means for a teacher to genuinely love her job and her students. I wouldn't be where I am without Mrs. Johanna's influence. Mrs. Johanna had this to say about Jaden. I was lucky enough to be Jaden's teacher in both elementary and junior high. In both stages of life, she was quiet, dependable, and her sweet and kind demeanor always brightened the day for everyone around her. Our next star student is Kevin Martinez. After high school, he plans to attend a 4-year college and major in biology. Kevin's star teacher is Kimberly Murphy. I was immediately flooded with comfort when I walked into Miss Murphy's classroom. Every day, she would teach with zeal, piquing my interest in her lesson. She taught me the value of spending time with family and how to maintain my faith. Mrs. Murphy had this to say about Kevin. Kevin is a phenomenal young man. Kevin showed amazing perseverance when work became challenging. It was such a blessing to be a part of his family and educational journey while he was in second grade.
Our next star student is Jose Moreno. His future plans are to attend the University of Texas at Austin to pursue the business field, and his star teacher is Angela Thomas. He says about Miss Thomas, I met Miss Thomas my freshman year when I first joined student council. As a teacher, Miss Thomas would constantly have engaging lessons and activities, and every day I was excited to attend her class. She is not only my teacher, but my #1 supporter as well. Ms. Thomas says, I have really seen him grow as a leader these last 4 years, and he has become someone that I depend on daily. Without his leadership and his dedication to our organization, student council would just not be the same. Our next star student is Joshua Mullins. After high school, he wants to study math and physics at the University of Texas Arlington. His star teacher is Charles Moon. He says of Mr. Moon is a very dedicated director who is happy to advise musicians who ask for his aid. He is in many ways what I would like to become. He strikes a balance between silly and serious without letting either become too dominant. What Mr. Moon says about Joshua. The first day I met Josh was at Summer Band of 2019. Josh is very inquisitive and is unafraid of asking questions. He seeks knowledge for its own sake. He simply is an amazing young man. Our next star student is Sonia Murthy. After high school, she's planning to attend the University of Texas at Arlington by majoring in education and minoring in biology or English. Her star teacher is Mrs. Griffith. She says of her star teacher, Mrs. Griffin's sunny personality drew me in as she presented a challenging yet fun take on journalism. Now that journalism has expanded since I was there, so many other middle schoolers can find the light at the end of the middle school tunnel thanks to Mrs. Griffith. Mrs. Griffith writes, when we met in my journalism class, she was quiet yet enterprising as a 7th grader. She was not ashamed to share her perspectives on substantial issues. It just was such an honor for me to serve and learn from this young lady. Our next star student is Celeste Orozco. She plans after high school to attend Texas Tech University and major in biology and minor in Spanish. Her star teacher is Irene Halbert. She says of Miss Halbert, "Some people in our lives have a unique power to inspire us. They give us courage when things become rough and inspire us to accomplish things we didn't think were possible. She has always been there for me these past 4 years, making me feel loved and cared for." Coach Halbert writes, "What I admire most about Celeste is that she is a very disciplined person in all that she does. Celeste also takes care of business in the classroom and will graduate with honors. I know whatever university she chooses to attend, she will be an asset to that school." Our next star student is Katherine Page. She plans to attend Bryn Mawr College and major in language studies of history. Her star teacher is Callie Coleman. She says about Miss Coleman, "Despite Miss Coleman never actually being my teacher, she still had a massive impact on me. She became an English teacher and I spent most of my senior year in her classroom. In a little over a year, she has changed my high school experience and life for the better." Miss Coleman says of Katherine, "We first bonded over a shared love for literature, and after countless after-school conversations about books, college, and life, it has become abundantly clear that she not only has a phenomenal future to look forward to, but so does everyone who gets to know her due to her influence."
Our next star student is Gianna Pettis. After high school, she plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin and major in studio art. And her star teacher is Mallory Lazoya. Gianna had this to say about Miss Lazoya. "Mrs. Lazoya is the kindest and most supportive teacher I have ever met. She continues to encourage me to be a great class leader and inspire me to be a great person to others." Miss Lazoya had this to say about Gianna. "I always knew that Gianna would create something interesting and do assignments to the best of her ability in my class. Throughout her high school career, she has grown into her photography, design, and writing skills. She stands from her peers, and I am so glad our paths crossed." Our next star student is Christopher Pena. He plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin and major in civil engineering. And his star teacher is first-year teacher Brett Deaver. Mr. Deaver is one of the teachers that I enjoy talking to. I am thankful for how he has inspired me to keep expressing my creativity. I know that it will keep on inspiring others just as he did for me. Mr. Deaver had this to say about Christopher. "Time and again, Chris has stepped up to the plate to help us meet deadlines. I admire his dedication to being his best and putting forth the effort it takes to continue to grow." Our next star student is Yamari Ramos. After high school, she plans to attend Baylor and major in pre-med studies. And her star teacher is Justin Wood. Yamari had this to say about Mr. Wood. "For 3 years, I have been blessed to have Mr. Wood as a teacher, which makes it the more difficult to be a senior this year. He inspires me to be a better version of myself and to be a positive influence on my surroundings." Mr. Wood had this to say about Yamari. "Yamari is the kind of young lady a teacher can easily be proud of. She is smart, kind, hardworking, and helps where she is needed. She makes your day better when she is in your class, and that is something I will always remember." Your next star student is Madison Ruiz. After high school, she will attend Texas A&M Commerce to get her basics done. Her star teacher is Miss Kayla Threet. Madison had this to say about Miss Threet. "Sometime my sophomore year, I opened my eyes to her awesomeness, and I have grown to love every minute. She would talk to me, not like a child, but someone she could trust. I am so honored that you are my ag teacher and friend." Miss Threet had this to say about Madison. "Out of the 4 years I've worked with her, I never saw Madison slack on any job that she was given. I know that Madison will be successful in her future endeavors, and I hope she knows how much she has and will always mean to me." Our next star student is Elisa Sattler. After high school, she plans to attend a 4-year university and obtain her degree in biomedical engineering. And her star teacher is Mr. Andrew Davis. Elisa wrote this: "Mr. Davis is one of the most passionate teachers I have ever had. Not only did his class push me to be a better student, but it made me to be a better person. Thank you for being such a great educator and seeing potential in me that I never saw in myself." Mr. Davis said this: "From the first day, she has been a super joy to have in class. She has learned a lot about herself. I know you will accomplish many great and wonderful things. Never, ever stop learning."
Our next star student is Zara Shaw. Her plans after high school are to attend college and ultimately become a speech pathologist. And her star teacher is Kendra Blakely. She said, Mrs. Blakely is a teacher that would always make sure that her class was the most interesting, and because of her, English quickly became my favorite subject, and now I love to write. Miss Blakely writes, she was a quiet young lady with a shy smile, but I learned that she was always ready to talk one-on-one or sing. She's a sweet, intelligent girl, and Zara is extremely motivated and dedicated, and I believe that she will be an awesome speech therapist. Our next star student is Brenna Toronto. Her plans after high school are to attend Navarro to get her basic courses completed, and her star teacher is Linda Osborne. She says, when I was 5 years old, I was diagnosed with autism. Many aspects of my life were challenging and confusing. Ms. Osborne taught not only the basic curriculum, she also helped me learn how to focus, socialize with other students, and be a better listener. I know I wouldn't be where I am today without her guidance. Ms. Osborne wrote, I remember her constant sweet smile and her compassion, kindness, and empathy for others. I remember how hard she worked, no matter what difficulty she faced. Watching her learn and grow was so rewarding because she is such an inspirational young lady. Our next star student is Jordan White. Her plans after high school to attend the University of Texas at Austin and major in social work to later become a criminal defense attorney. And her star teacher is Markika Curtis. She says, throughout the years, she has made a tremendous impact on my educational life. I thank her for the skills she recognized in me and the hope she gave me that I didn't see in myself. Ms. Curtis writes, Jordan is an outstanding and intelligent student, and she seeks new challenges and is committed to doing her best. Jordan has overcome many obstacles in life, and she is still standing. She is a star, sophisticated, talented, amazing, and resilient young lady. Our next star student is Rachel Wilcox. Her plans after high school, attending the University of Texas at Austin and majoring in sustainable studies, and her star teacher is Brad Hurdle. What she says, being scheduled for pre-calculus at 8 a.m. every morning was daunting for me during my junior year. Yet I soon realized I had nothing to fear because Mr. Pirtle is a genius at creating an exceptionally supportive and fun learning environment. He teaches extraordinarily well and is true to himself, which I will always respect and admire about him most. Mr. Pirtle writes about Rachel. Rachel showed a lot of Red Oak Hawk grit. This is what makes a student a star student. Congratulations, Rachel. And our final star student is Sarah Zamora. She plans on attending the University of Texas at Arlington and majoring in biology. And her star teacher is Santana Talbert. So many great teachers have made it into my life. However, Mrs. Tolbert will forever have a spot in my heart. Thank you so much, Ms. Tolbert, for not only creating a lasting effect on my academic and personal life, but for all around being a beautiful soul to everyone around you. Ms. Tolbert says Sarah was always a determined and hard worker. She was always engaged in lecture and willing to help those around her. I was able to ask her questions and receive awesome and honest feedback. She has truly impacted my career as a teacher.